Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to do something really fun and exciting. I'm going to do a full face of makeup using all mini products that I picked up, that I've accumulated. So yeah, this is going to be so fun. So stay tuned to see all of my minis that I have in my collection. And maybe you'd like them and you want to purchase the full size after watching this video. Same for me. So anyways, let's get started. And I am going to start with a moisturizer. So I have received this Estee Lauder Revitalizing Supreme Moisturizer. And I'm going to put this on my face right now. All I have is sunscreen. So this is what the cream looks like inside. And let's see what this does to the skin. So most of these products I have not touched right away. So it is very soft when you pick it up, but right after it becomes this very hydrating cream on your face. So that's really good. I have dry skin, so this is definitely feeling great on the face. Now let's let this sit. I have two primers here. Now I have an Estee Lauder and a one size Secure the Blur primer. I have used the Estee Lauder in another video, which I will have a video coming up soon on Estee Lauder. But I'm gonna try use this one, the one size Secure the Blur primer, and see what this does. Oh, it's even sealed, as you can see right there. So the cream looks very blurring, like it's not a see-through cream. So let's put this mostly into the T-zone here. This is so exciting because this type of video will actually help me understand whether I should purchase a full-size product or not by this brand. Now let that sit as well, and let's move on to brows. I have this Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. It's like a triangular brow pencil, and this is, I don't know what shade it's in. Let's see here. Dark brown. So again, this is a sample, like it's a mini size. You see the tip? Yeah, let's do the brows with this one. Very filling right away compared to the other one. I love the shade. It looks good. Let's move on to foundation. So for foundation, I have this MAC foundation, and I think this is their new one. And I got mine in the shade N1. So I hope this is the right shade. This is their newer foundation. Oh, it looks quite dark in there. But let's try it out. Oh, it's gonna be okay, I think. Now I don't have a concealer, so I guess we're not gonna conceal today. And for this, I'm gonna use a Moda complexion brush. This is a very skin-like foundation from what I see. Very light coverage. Let's build it up more. And now I'm gonna go in with a beauty sponge and see if this will blend it better. Yeah, so you can see this is very light coverage. So I'm just going to cheat a little bit and cover these imperfections here. And I think I'm gonna use the Dior Forever concealer just to conceal those, because I want a little bit more coverage there and here. There you go. I just don't like to see so much redness. So this foundation by MAC looks like that's the perfect shade. But yeah, keep in mind there's barely any coverage. And it's almost empty. You can see how much I've used. Okay, so let's move on to bronzer. So I have two bronzers. One is the Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Super Foundation. And I got this in a darker shade intentionally to use it as a liquid bronzer. So let's see, I'm curious. Oh, okay, so it comes with a pump. I'm gonna put it in the back of my hand. Ooh, it's deep. Okay, so Okay, I'm gonna use this Real Techniques brush and see. I'm gonna dip inside it and kind of just a little bit add this as a bronzer. And then I have another powder bronzer. Ooh, that's a lot. Now we're gonna blend it. Don't worry, we'll make it work. This is gonna give us that sun-kissed look. So a little bit of this goes a very, very long way. You can see how much I have left here. But yeah, just take your time and blend. So you can see how nice of a sun-kissed kind of burnt look it gives you. Now let's move on to the next bronzer, and that is the Nars bronzer in the shade Laguna. Look how cute this is. So for this, I'm gonna use a BK Beauty 106 brush and apply this on top just to set the cream bronzer in place. We are very bronzed. You can take your beauty sponge, your dampened beauty sponge, and push everything in. Okay, so let's move on to highlighter. For highlighter, I have the mini Lilah B Highlighter in the shade Be Enchanting. So I'm going to apply highlighter first. Here it is. This is a beautiful highlighter. So I'm going to use my fingers for this and just place it on top of the cheekbone right here. Yeah, today is actually my dad's birthday when I'm filming this. I don't know when I'm posting this, but April 10th is my dad's birthday, so we are going to take him out to dinner today. So hopefully this full face of minis is going to turn out good so I can actually leave the house. But so far so good. Okay, so for blush, I have two blushes and I want to use them both. So at first I'm going to go with a cream blush, and this is the Milk Makeup cream blush stick, and this is in the shade W-E-R-K, Work. And you can use this on your lips and cheek. So let's go ahead and use it on the cheek. So for this, I am actually going to use a brush and dip inside it and apply it that way. Because that foundation is very thin and I don't want to rub this on the cheek and then disturb and move any foundation. This is a beautiful blush. Cannot believe I did this with minis only. Now, my next blush I'm gonna add is the Nars blush in the shade, I'm sure you guys know, Orgasm. And for this, I'm gonna use my BK Beauty 106 brush, and a lot picked up on this. And just add this on top to kind of set that cream blush. And at the same time, this one has a little bit of tiny little sparkle, so it adds that gives that extra highlight to the cheekbone. I actually love how the complexion's turning out. So now we can set the face with this is the KVD translucent powder. You can see this is a mini, and ooh, there's a lot of powder there. And I'm gonna use a BK Beauty 108 brush. I don't want to add too much of this to the face. This is a very nice translucent powder. It's very messy though. I don't like it because the top doesn't have like a cover, and you can see how messy it can get. So let's move on to eyeshadow. Okay, so I just quickly primed my eye with the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Soft Ochre. I don't have a mini of the eye primer, so I did that off camera. I have 3 little mini palettes and eyeshadow here. So first is the Dior. This is the Dior 647 Undressed eyeshadow palette. Look how pretty that is. Little 5 eyeshadows in here. Then I have the Natasha Denona Glam palette. This is the shade Outer Eyelid. And then I have this is the Dose of Color Block Party. So I want to use all of them. So I'm going to start with the Dior. And I'm going to set that with the first little white eyeshadow right there. And use a BK Beauty 203 brush. The shadows are so tiny and cute. Okay, so let's move on to this little peach one right here. And I'm gonna use a BK Beauty 202 brush. These are all clean brushes. I just washed them yesterday. And use this as kind of the transition. It's kind of like a hint of peach with a little bit of highlight from what I see on the eyelid. It looks really pretty. So let's move on into the middle shade, which is that light brown. And use the same brush and see, add this just a little bit lower than the transition. Not in the crease yet, just kind of above to create that shadow. So now let's go into this shade right here with the same brush and add that in the crease. Oh yeah, this is more intense, more of a cool tone shade. That's so pretty. So I'm gonna go in with a clean fluffy brush. This is a BK Beauty 201 and get rid of any harsh lines. So blend everything together basically. We have so many beautiful shades here. I'm gonna go in first with this from Dior, the darker shade. And I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 203 brush, which is more of a flat brush. And add this in the outer corner here. That looks very pretty. Can you see what we can do with a mini eyeshadow palette? That's amazing. Okay, so let's move on to the dose of colors. And I'm gonna use this Block Party eyeshadow. This is in the shade Shall We Dance. And look at that. Foil. So I'm going to put this in the inner corner to the middle of the eye. Yeah, I think every company should come out with a mini palette of a big palette, kind of like what Natasha Denona does, because I really, like, I love some of her big palettes, but her minis are so good. It has everything you need in them. They're so easy to travel and store. I just love them. So that's a nice shade. Now I want to go in with the Natasha Denona shade from the Glam palette, and this is the outer eyelid shade. So we're going to use this in the outer eyelid. So I'm going to use my finger for this. Again, very nice and cool tone. And I'm going to add it on top of that darker shade here in the outer corner. I think that looks really pretty. Beautiful. So now let's work on the lower lash line. And for that, I'm going to go into the Dior in this darker brown and use a BK Beauty 204 brush and slowly darken this area out here. I really love it. I think I'm going to go back into this peach and add more here. Now let's move on to mascara. So I promised you guys I'm going to use this mascara on camera, and this is the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Extreme Lash Multiplying Volume Mascara in the shade 01 Extreme Black. So this is what the doe foot applicator looks like. Look, it's as big as the actual bottle. It's huge. So let's see how this works. So it looks okay. Let me do the bottom lash line now. So I dipped again and add a little bit more at the top and bottom. Okay, so here is one eye with the mascara. Nothing special. This is, I'll give you my final thoughts at the end, what I think. But I'm going to go ahead and quickly do the other eye. Okay, so here are the eyes completed. I think they turned out really good, really good. So what else we have left here? Oh, we have lips. So for lips, I have a lipstick, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Pillow Talk. Look how tiny this looks. I love it. And here is the shade. And let's apply this, but before we apply this, I don't have a mini lip liner. So let me quickly line my lips. So I've lined my lips with the Dragon Beauty lip liner. Doesn't have a shade. Okay, so it's this color right here. It looks like that. Looks really pretty. I love this neutral nude brown. So let's go ahead and apply the Pillow Talk lipstick now, which everybody loves. This feels very hydrating. This lipstick melts on your lips, but not to the point where it like bleeds out. And let's add the Fenty Beauty Fenty Glow 01 lip gloss. This is so pretty. Love this. And it has a big doe foot applicator. So I'm just gonna add this on top of the lips, just for a little bit of extra shine. Here is the final look. I'm gonna keep you close so you can see. I think the complexion looks beautiful. I don't think I missed anything. I think we've gone through everything, yes. So the complexion looks so pretty. So here are my final thoughts. What do you guys think? I think it turned out really good. So let's start with the cream. This I recommend, the Estee Lauder Revitalizing Supreme Plus Cream. This is a youth power cream and it's so powerful. It's so thin when you pick it up from the container. When you apply it to the face, it turns into this hardening gel-like consistency and a very, very hydrating to the face. So I love this. I might have to pick this up in a bigger container. I really love it. Now the primer, the One Size Secured the Blur primer. I think that it made it prepped the face very nice for the foundation. It did add blurring parts where I have placed it right here. It blurred those pores really nicely and I think it looked really, really good. Primers, I have so many primers that I have to go through, so I don't think I'm going to pick up the big one only because I have too many primers that I have to finish. But next, we applied the MAC foundation in the shade N1. I think it says F plus B, so I don't remember the exact name. And if you buy something by MAC, you are allowed to choose a free sample of the foundation. So I chose mine in the shade N1 and I think it looks really nice. This is more of a very light skin tint foundation. I don't think it provides a lot of coverage. I have so many more beautiful foundations, so I don't think I'm going to pick this up in a bigger version. But I think that the skin actually looks really nice, but keep in mind it's very light. Now, let's move on to bronzer. So I've used the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Chai. I don't know if I mentioned it. In the shade Chai, only to bronze the outskirts of my face. Now, a little bit goes a long way. I think I applied too much and I love the shade. It looks like caramel. I love caramel shades in bronzers. I don't know what, but I think it adds a very nice glowy natural look. So I wanted to try this as a bronzer and that's why I chose this shade. And then on top I went with the beautiful Nars in the shade Laguna to kind of set that foundation slash the way I use it as a bronzer and add a little bit more bronze to my face. And this is really pretty. This is something I would like to pick up in the actual big size. I love the Laguna bronzer and I love the Laguna lipstick as well. And I have that too. I guess I could have used it because it's a mini. But yeah, this I definitely would love to have it in a bigger one. Now for highlighter, you guys know this is the Lilah B Highlighter in the shade Be Enchanting. This is a beautiful highlighter. It is extremely expensive for the amount you get. And that's why I picked this up in a mini, because for highlighter, you barely need much. And you can see I put a little bit here and you can see how beautiful when the light hits. It gives you that nice healthy glow without seeing a streak of glitter or glimmer on your face. I love this one. So, but I don't recommend picking up the big size only because of the price. And this is good enough for highlighter. Now for blush, two blushes here. The Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Blush. And this is the blush stick. I like that this shade is really pretty. I don't like to use this directly on my face only because I don't want anything underneath to be disturbed, because I really love the consistency. It kind of reminds me of the Merit blushes, so kind of the same consistency. And the Nars Orgasm, I think, yes, I already have the big one in the Nars Orgasm. Let me show you the difference. So I've already received this in a boxy charm, and this is what the Nars Orgasm in the regular size looks like, and this is the Nars Orgasm in the mini size, so you can see the difference. But again, a little bit goes a long way. This blush is beautiful. It does have shimmer inside it, so if you don't like shimmer, I don't know if it's for you, but when you apply it to the face, you don't even see the shimmer at all. It provides a very nice, healthy looking glow to the cheek, so I love this blush. I guess I already have it. I don't need to pick it up, but I definitely recommend it. Now let's move on. Oh, powder. KVD powder. This is in the shade Translucent. This is a Lock-It setting powder. This is enough. You don't need more. However, if you are a powder person, I have dry skin, so I don't like to powder too much. Only like kind of like in this area where I touch a lot, and I want the foundation and the face, the complexion to last longer. So this is all I need. I'm not going to pick up the bigger one. I have enough powders in my collection that I need to finish. But for someone who does enjoy powder, who goes through powders a lot, who bakes, then you definitely need the bigger size. And this is very beautiful. It's not drying, not settling into any of the smile lines, fine lines. You don't feel the tightness on your face. I really love this powder, how it makes my face feel. And I've used it under my eyes, and I think it looks beautiful. Now, here is the only product I was not very happy about, and this is expensive. This is the Estee Lauder. This is the Sumptuous Extreme Lash Multiplying Volume Mascara in the shade Black. Component is beautiful. I love the blue and the gold. It just looks stunning. This is in the shade 01 Extreme Black, and that's all that I like about it. I put 2 coats on my lashes, and you can see that they're just there, just like the same as I were to use any other mascara from the drugstore or any of the other ones I have, and I can accomplish the same lashes in a faster amount of time, and even better, more voluminous, more lengthening, more darkening. This is definitely doesn't look very extreme black, because you can not see the difference between black and extreme black. The volume is okay, the length is okay because I already have long lashes, but it's something that I would definitely not pick up in the larger size. Now the Dior palette, I want this Dior palette in a larger size for sure. This is such a great neutral palette with such beautiful amount of color. When you apply it to the eye, you can actually see what you get. It's not very light. You think this is a light palette, but when you apply it to the eye, you can see that you can create and see each and every shade individually, which I like. They're all different and unique. They don't blend into each other, and you can see that on the eye, and I love the formula and the color story. Now, of course, the Natasha Denona from the Glam palette. If you have the Glam palette, obviously you don't need this. If you have this, don't just buy the Glam palette just for this because it's expensive. But I definitely recommend that palette because that palette has all of the shades, are so beautiful, so easy to use, and I enjoy each and every one of them. So yeah, this is stunning. I love it. You can't go wrong with Natasha Denona. But don't buy a palette just for one shade. The dose of colors, you can see the difference when you use the Natasha Denona shimmery shade and then you go into the dose of colors. You can actually tell the difference that the Natasha Denona is a little bit more creamy and it pops more on the eyelid when you apply this. Yes, it looked creamy on the finger. When you apply it, you have to build it up a little bit more to stand out, but it's a beautiful shade. I love that shade all over the eyelid with a little bit of black liner. It would look stunning. Now, of course, the Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Pillow Talk. Definitely recommend to buy in the actual bigger version. This is a beautiful lipstick. The shade is stunning and the formula is amazing. Very hydrating, very easy to use, gliding. It gives the lips a beautiful pop of color. Very neutral. Love this one. And the last one is the Gloss Bomb by Fenty Beauty. And this is in the shade Fenty Glow 01. I love this one. This is so, I would definitely recommend. I don't know, I don't think this is the big one. I think this is a mini one. I have, yeah, this is what a big one by Fenty Beauty would look like. But I love this shade. Definitely recommend this shade. You can use this as a lip topper, or you can use it on your own, on its own, on your bare lips, and it looks really beautiful. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. This is a gorgeous brow definer, very fast. It fills in your brows quickly. The shade dark brown is perfect for my eyebrows, just in case you have the same color eyebrows. And the pencil, I love how triangular it looks, and it is very pigmented and very easy to use. I did my brows very fast with this one and I love it. So I recommend this one. I have a lot of brow products, so I'm not going to be picking up the bigger version, but once I run out of them, I will, because Anastasia Beverly Hills, even the brush I've used by her, I can tell the difference when I use her brow products compared to others. It is more, looks more beautiful on the brow, especially using the brush. I can tell even the bristles are so much softer than any other brow brush, and the hairs on the angled part they're very soft, very easy to use, and it blends the product nicely. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. I hope I didn't bore you with all of this, but this was a fun video to film, doing a full face of mini. What do you guys think? I think that if you look at this face, I really don't think that you would know that I've used all minis on my face, and I was able to accomplish this. So I'm happy. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe. It means so much to me. I wish you all a wonderful day. Always remember to be yourself, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.